We have 11 amazing restaurants featuring a wide variety for every price range and appetite. South Point's Garden Buffet has something for everyone at unbeatable prices. Or, if hunger strikes in the middle of the night, join us at Coronado Cafe. The American menu offers breakfast, lunch, or dinner 24 hours a day, plus a Chinese kitchen for authentic Chinese dishes from 11 a.m. to 11 p.m. From steak and eggs to wonton soup, it's fast and friendly service 24/7. When you need a quick pick-me-up, you can find it at our state-of-the-art Starbucks just inside the main South Point entrance. Order ahead with the Starbucks app for easy mobile order pickups. Or enjoy your favorites in the relaxing dining area anytime, day or night. If you love Mexican food, Baja Miguel's has all of your south of the border favorites. There are dozens of classics to choose from, like fajitas, ceviche, chimichangas, tacos, and more. And for spirit lovers, Baja's colorful non-smoking tequila bar is right outside.
Looking to bet smarter? Get sports betting insight and winning picks straight from the South Point Hotel and Casino.
The favorite should be 220-ish, and here, you can lay $1.65.
So getting a plus 315 price here for this one to go to overtime. I like it.
Their strength is their defense. I like the under.
Join Sports by the Book Monday through Friday at 10 a.m. Pacific and bet your winning edge.
Heading to Las Vegas to catch the action at Allegiant Stadium? Skip the traffic and the sky-high room rates of the Strip. Book your stay at the South Point Hotel, Casino, and Spa. The South Point is located just 7 miles away from the stadium, and it's a quick trip up the freeway, making it an affordable rideshare or taxi ride. And don't worry about getting here when you land in Vegas. We offer a convenient airport shuttle to get your getaway off to a stress-free start. Shuttles are also available on Raider game days for a small fee. So whether you're rooting for your team or seeing your favorite band in concert at Allegiant Stadium, South Point Hotel, Casino, and Spa is your ticket to all the excitement. Get ready for the most massive madness party in Las Vegas. Join us March 19th through the 21st right here at the South Point Hotel and Casino. It's 3 straight days of massive video screens, massive food and drink specials, massive access to betting windows and kiosks. The only thing that's not massive is the price. Free parking and entry as always. Tip-off to the madness starts right here at South Point Hotel and Casino, March 19th through the 21st.
Happy Wednesday, everybody, and welcome in. This is Sports by the Book. We are live from the South Point Hotel and Casino, talking all sports, but really getting you ready for the NCAA tournament that begins tomorrow. We do have 2 more play-in games tonight, so we'll go over those as well. We'll add some hockey in, too, because why not? I'm Alex Way alongside Ryan McCormick. Happy to be with you. Good to see everybody in the chat. Good morning, Attila and JR. Bright and early, first one's in there. Ryan, how are you today? And hockey's been a little tough for us the last week or so, but we're gonna get it together.
Yeah, I'd like to erase yesterday, especially on the whiteboard. Not a great one. And then some other plays on the college basketball side that weren't on my whiteboard. Also did not go great. So yesterday was not exactly a winning night, but we're shooting to get it back on track today.
It looks like some of the top teams before the break are struggling a little bit right now, and it's a long season. So, I mean, I do think there's value on some of the dogs. I'm going to tread lightly with unders because those have not been very nice to me. Wild and Hawks, you mentioned it yesterday, the exact same score from the prior 2 games, so should have stayed away from that under. Did get there with the Sharks and Oilers, so some of these overs, man, I don't think we should be afraid of the 6.5s and the 7s. Unders were good for me in college basketball. NIT, both unders hit for the first half, and Wyoming and Wichita State, that under did as well. Did not put it on the whiteboard. And how about those UNLV Rebels, Ryan, getting the win?
Yep.
And that was a good game. It ended up being way closer in the final minutes there, but UNLV advances.
Yes, they do. They will play Tulane, I believe, on Friday. So they will be on the road for that one as well. So we won't get Matt and Everett this week, but he'll be going down to Tulane for the next round of the NIT. Getting into yesterday's recap, brought to you by the South Point Sportsbook, talking about the closing numbers of each of these games. We'll start in the NBA first, the professional hardwood. Another day where favorites go 8-0 straight up. So now 16-0 favorites are this week. 5-3 against the spread last night. 5-3 were the totals, 5 overs, 3 unders there in the NBA. The favorites to win but not cover would be the Oklahoma City Thunder on the road in Orlando against the Magic. They were 9.5-point favorites. They only win by 5, 113-108. The Pistons on the road against the Wizards were 19-point favorites. They only win by 13, 130-117. And then the Cleveland Cavaliers were 12.5-point road favorites in Milwaukee against the Bucks, and they only win by 7, 123-116. So those were the 3 favorites to win but not cover: Thunder, Pistons, Cavs. They were also 3 of the larger favorites, 3 of the 4 road favorites on the NBA board yesterday. To college basketball, in the 10 games yesterday, favorites went 7-3 straight up, but 3-7 against the spread. So it was a pretty good day to take the numbers on the dogs, keeping the games close there. Totals 4-6, 4 overs, 6 unders. We mentioned the first 4 games. Howard and Texas get it done, advance to play in the round of 64. They also cashed the first to 15 prices, which are fun ones we have today as well for the first 4 games. And then the NIT, the only favorites to win and not cover would be Seattle at home against St. Thomas. They win by 15. Only favorites to win and cover. There you go. Seattle minus the 2, winning by 15 against the Tommies. And then UNLV closed the favorite at UC Irvine. They were a 2-point dog to start off the opener, and ended up closing a 1.5-point favorite on the road there at Irvine, and ended up winning by 3. So good on the Rebels to win and cover in that one.
A couple observations from yesterday. One, we should have been on South Alabama first half because they were leading 36-30 in the first half over Auburn. We said, is Auburn going to be motivated? There is that factor in these games, and we're going to talk about some teams today that, you know, might have had higher hopes of being in the big dance, so might not really show up. And then, the Tommies, I should have taken them first half too, 31-30. They did have the lead and kind of just ran out of gas there at the end. I also noticed, and you talked about the dogs yesterday, 7-3 covering, and that's including the play-in games too. But I did notice with the NIT tournament, the road teams, which happened to be the underdogs, really showed up. And I think some of that might be a little bit of a business trip, right? And them getting out of their city, being fully invested, buying in, as opposed to, okay, we're hosting this home game, going through your normal routine, and then not really being ready for the big moment. So I don't know if that trend continues. I looked back at last year, and it was very split. It actually looked like the earlier games and more of the mid-majors. The dogs really showed up and covered, and some winning outright. But we'll get to those games. Any observations to throw in with that, Ryan?
Not necessarily with the NIT. I did enjoy how tight the games were in the play-in games. Really kind of wire-to-wire, not exactly wire-to-wire leads for Texas and Howard there, but the other teams were able to keep it close. State, fell flat on their face. The ACC team going against the SEC team, so that one wasn't good, and it wasn't on my whiteboard, but I did play State. they could not hit their shots until the end of the game, missing layups left and right. So, yeah, Texas gets the win. SEC gets a win. But yeah, I was also pretty into the WBC game last night, and that's why I'm wearing my. It is a Bryce Harper jersey. I get he hasn't played for the Nationals in 7 years, but it is a Las Vegas represent day as the U.S. gets 3 hits against Venezuela, and Bryce Harper had 2 of those hits, including the 2 RBI homer that tied the game in the bottom of the 8th, and then another questionable decision by Mark DeRosa. I get honoring the Padres' wishes. I hate these rules. I get we're in March, and I get we're trying to preserve the bodies, but why are we doing it in March if we're trying to whatever. But did want to give a shout out to our guy Matt Everett. Not only was he on the call last night for the UNLV win at UC Irvine, which we did have Attila saying that call was great by Matt. Matt also had a great call on February 10th of WBC odds, saying that Venezuela was a good shot at 17-1 outside of the favorite 3 in the U.S., Japan, and the DDR. He did give out that it would be a nice price to take on Venezuela at that 17-1, and they obviously win their first appearance in the WBC championship and are WBC gold medal champions. So good for Venezuela.
That game was pretty fun, and it was great to see Bryce Harper tie it up, and then that lead fall short in the top of the 9th pretty quickly there. But it was a lot of fun, and yeah, hopefully they can move it, because I am seeing some rumbling and talks that they would like it more mid-summer, kind of like we just did with the Olympics for hockey, right? So everybody is in their best shape and ready to go and not so worried about injuries. But yeah, so yeah, shout out to Bryce Harper, Vegas guy, and he needed those 2 hits, and it was all ball. And shout out to Matt Everett for giving us those picks there.
To finish our recap from yesterday, going to the NHL and spring training. So the NHL favorites yesterday went 5-4 straight up. 6 puck lines were covered, 3 of which were reverse, including the Jackets against the Hurricanes there. That was not a fun watch. Possibly a look ahead to the game tonight for the Hurricanes.
That's what I thought too.
But totals 5-4, 5 overs, 4 unders there. And then in Major League Baseball spring training, 6, 3, and 2 were favorites straight up. There were 2 ties, 1-1 and 5-5. 6 run lines were covered, 2 reverse run lines were covered. Totals 5, 5, and 1. 1 did push on a 7. So that's what we got for our recap presented by the South Point Sportsbook.
All right, well, let's get right into it. Let's dive into some hockey. I see Jermaine's in there, so we've got some people that do follow hockey and give out some picks as well. So we'll go through these games, starting with those Canes that are playing on a back-to-back, and I thought the exact same thing, Ryan. Could have been a little bit of a look ahead here, as they do have the Penguins, and Sidney Crosby is back.
Well, we saw what the addition of Evgeny Malkin was in the Penguins' last game against the Avalanche, winning 7-2 in Colorado, and now you get Sid back. So this one will be even more addition to that offense. But anyway, we've got it priced today as I gotta get that ready. Excuse me. There it is. Nope, that's tomorrow. Today. All right, 140 are the Hurricanes as a home favorite, plus 120 on the Pittsburgh Penguins money line. 6.5 is the total with a 115 to the under.
So I've been lower on Pittsburgh all year, and I still am here in this matchup. I do have the Canes minus 190 at home. I'm not confident at all to actually play that. Even looking at the stats comparing the two, they're much closer than the market tells you for Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh 8th in goals for, and they are tied for 7th in goals against. Carolina tied for 6th in goals for, and they are 7th in goals against. So that is pretty close there. So yeah, I'm probably just going to stay off of this one, try and get a feel for both teams, see who shows up. I saw Attila wrote that Canes and Stars are both on spring break here. So I would imagine Pittsburgh keeps that momentum going. They are playing good. They do have a nice over streak going, Ryan. 6 straight overs for Pittsburgh, but you might have back-to-back numbers for us too with Carolina.
I do, and they are a lot worse on the second of a back-to-back than they are on the first, and they failed me on the first. So honestly hoping that they lose both of this back-to-back, because I will be playing the Penguins tonight, getting that plus price of a 120 here at the South Point. So it is the third of 4 meetings between these two. They will play again on Sunday. So it'll be their third meeting in 12 days. So if you also have a market where you can bet on a fight, maybe take that in these next 2 games as well. But the home team has won both. I get that I just said I'll take the Penguins. But Penguins won 5-1 back in the end of December, at the end of December, 12/30, December 30th. And then the Hurricanes won 5-4 in a shootout the last time they were here, back on the 10th, last Tuesday. It's the last of a 4-game road trip for the Penguins. Again, winning big in Colorado. Could be, I mean, if they had Sidney Crosby and Evgeny Malkin in that game, I would say maybe, yeah, come down to earth, a flat spot here in this one.
Right.
But you got Malkin back in that one. You're getting your captain back in this one. I think that's going to be a pretty good boost going against the top team here in the Eastern Conference. So, yeah, the Penguins, I like it tonight. But anyway, the second of back-to-back numbers, Hurricanes 5-5-1. 5-6 on the money line. Totals are 4-7, 4 overs, 7 unders there for the Hurricanes on the second of a back-to-back.
Okay, leaning more towards that under too, even though I was thinking we might get some goals, even though I do like both goalies going today. But yeah, I'm going to stay away from that one.
Okay. Going to Madison Square Garden, where the Devils are taking on the Rangers. Devils, a road favorite of a -120, even money for the Rangers money line. Total is 6 with a 120 to the over.
I don't know if I'm quite here with the Devils yet. I know they've played better since coming off of the break and kind of getting the Jack Hughes boost here, but I still think the Rangers should be about pick 'em here at home with them. That is my number, -115. I do have a lean to the under. I've got it 5.5 flat. So I just said I was going to tread lightly with unders, but I do trust both these guys. We got Markstrom and Jonathan. Oh, it's Jonathan Quick.
Yeah.
I said it so confidently, like it was just so good. His numbers aren't bad though. 286 goals against and an 892 save percentage. So, all right, I'm sorry, I got another stay away because I'm not confident enough to take that even money with the Rangers at home. That is what my numbers say. And it says to go under 6 there at that plus price. But I'm going to stay off. Anything for you?
5-17 is Jonathan Quick on the money line this year. I would like to think that we will get goals. I would like to think the Devils win this game. They're both a -120 price. I think I'm more comfortable with the Devils getting the win here. So I'll take the Devils on the money line minus the 120. It's the second of 3 meetings between these two teams, all of which are this month. The first was on the 7th, January, or the Devils won 6-3 in Jersey. And then the final meeting, they play the second today. Final meeting will be the final day of the month, 3/31 there. So again, if you've got the market to bet on a fight, could be good in these next 2, having these meetings so close to each other. All right, going to the nation's capital, where the Senators are on the road taking on the Capitals. This is the third and final meeting of the year between these two, but the Senators are a road favorite of a -130, plus 110 on the Caps money line. 6 is the total with a 115 to the over.
Curious if you're sticking with your Road Warriors here, because I'm leaning to that plus 110 with the Washington Capitals, even though I know the Senators 7-1-2 in their last 10 games, so that kind of scares me off of it. But I do have Washington, same thing, pretty much a pick 'em, -120 at home. So there is some value for me taking a shot with the older team here in the Caps. I do trust Logan Thompson, just as I do with Ullmark on the other side, though. So it's a potential here. But do I want to go against the 2-win streak for the Senators and just overall the good record in the last 10 days? What are you thinking?
Would you add in your avoid the sweep? Capitals looking to avoid being or losing all 3 games this year to the Senators.
Yep.
Okay.
I like it.
Okay.
When was their last game, though?
They were, okay, so their first meeting was back in the end of October, and their second meeting was New Year's Day.
Okay.
So before the Olympic break, not exactly a whole lot to take in there. But off the Olympic break, Senators are 6-1-2, covering the puck line in all 6 wins. Are the Senators there? It is the first of a back-to-back for them, as well as they are playing the Islanders tomorrow at home. Senators back at home. So Sens 6-3-1, 6-4 on the money line in the first of a back-to-back. Totals 4-6. They are the exact same spread or win-loss on the second of a back-to-back. 6-3-1, 6-4 on the money line for tomorrow. But they are 9-1 to the over in the second of a back-to-back.
Wow.
So could be a good look immediately as they open against the Islanders in that game tomorrow. But yes, I will be. We'll go with the them staying hot on the puck line, taking that plus 190 here to get it done against Logan Thompson, who we've been trusting. So we got a little bit of a two-way action here.
Vinny, if you will. We will be on both sides of that one here.
Two-way action.
Thank you. All right, let's keep it going. So Ryan keeps it going with his 3 Road Warriors
That
now.
also opens up a spot for a middle, by the way. All right, going to the game of the night, to be honest. It is the Stars on the road in Colorado against the Avalanche. Avs, a minus 145 money line home favorite, plus 125 for the Dallas Stars. 6 is the total with a 120 to the over.
6 is the total here, huh? I've got it 6.5, so I'm already leaning that way. I do have Colorado a bigger favorite at home, even though I know that these two are fairly close. The Stars, even though they lost for us the other night, on the road, they have a nice win streak going of 5 straight. Colorado losers of 2 straight. They're going to try and get right here in this spot. So I'm leaning to the home team again. Wedgwood will be the goalie. I keep thinking he hasn't played in a very long time, but it's probably just a couple weeks. I like the over. If it sounds crazy, you got Ottinger and Scott Wedgwood, but my numbers say over, and we know both these teams can definitely score. So getting a 6 here between these two. You have their previous games?
Yes, I do. And it is the same instance or same point that I made last night in the Wild Blackhawks game. Both of the prior meetings between these two teams have been decided 5-4 in a shootout.
Wow.
So don't know if you want to go with that again. But Dallas won the first 5-4 back. Road team won 5-4 in the shootout in both meetings. So Dallas in Colorado in the beginning of October, Colorado in Dallas just under 2 weeks ago. So both teams coming into this one off of pretty bad home losses. Dallas fell flat against the Mammoth. We were on Dallas there. And then Colorado lost 7-2 against the Penguins in their last time at home. So both teams going to be fired up. We kind of thought it might have been, or after the game, after the last game that both of these played against different teams, the Mammoth and the Penguins, we thought it was a look-ahead spot to this one specifically. So this one will be a great, great hockey game to watch. I like that over with you. I get the goaltenders have some pretty good numbers, but the potential for offense and the open ice that we're going to see in this game, based on the physicality and kind of pucks just getting through, this one should get over that 6.
Curious. I want to check both of their penalty minutes coming into this. 4th for Colorado and 18th on the defensive side for those two. But yeah, I agree. Wow, 5-4. So you're getting a 6 here, unless it's telling you something, and it's going to be. Joey B said it, playoff atmosphere, and I definitely think it will. So you never know if that's which one that results in. But I'll take a shot. I'm going to take a shot at the over. Sorry, did you say a side that you like?
No.
Okay.
Yeah. Both teams really kind of fallen flat for me to picking the sides of recent. So
yeah.
I do think just kind of going off the meetings, the value is there with the Stars, that plus 125 plus price. But we're thinking this is going to be a really tight game. And again, if you want to go with what the recent games have said, 5-4 road winner in a shootout, it would be a draw, a plus price on the money line, and the over. So if you want to exactly predict that game for the Stars, more power to you. Going to Calgary where the Blues are on the road. They are a -120 road favorite. Even money on the Flames money line. 5.5 is the total with a 115 to the over.
Third game where I have the home team as a short favorite, and the market has the road team as the favorite here. I do have Calgary -120 at home. I mean, not a huge flip, but 20-cent difference there. You're getting plus money. If you like the home team, it will be Devin Cooley, but his numbers are not bad at all. I mean, 7-9-4 is the record, but 229 goals against and a .914 save percentage. Hofer on the other side. So I get it. The Blues have played really good since the break. I mean, kind of look like a different team, but it won't be Bennington. They're 7-2-1 in their last 10. Calgary, they had some fight right before the Olympic break. Remember when we were fading them early in the season, then the calendar year changed, and then they did show a lot of fight. But as of late, 2-7-1. So I can't confidently bet the Flames here, but my numbers do say that. We do have some streaks for totals, and that is the Blues, 6 straight unders. Sorry, when they're on the road, their games, 6 straight unders, 3 unders. In general, coming into this, their median numbers 2 and 3. The Flames at home 3 and 3. So that kind of helps support my numbers there. But 5.5, I'm gonna stay away. Anything for you?
This is another home team looking to avoid getting swept on the year by the road team. So the Blues looking to win all 3 of their meetings this year between these two teams. They won 4-2 in Calgary back at the start of October, and then 3-2 in St. Louis, but that was on 11-11. So both last year, not much to take into account. But what you can take into account is how they've been off the Olympic break. And Alex had pointed out some of their numbers in the last 10. Calgary is 3-7-1 off the Olympic break. This is the first game back home off of a 5-game road trip where they only won 1 game. They went 1-4 on that road trip, but start of a 6-game homestand here for the Flames. The Blues, 7-2-1 off the Olympic break. This is the second of a road trip for them. They are making a full Canada trip. They were in Winnipeg tonight in Calgary and then in Vancouver on Saturday. So based off how they've played, I think we're back to fading the Flames. At least I am. I picked the Flames Red Wings game to go under. Disgusting second period by Dustin Wolf for the Flames. So different guy in net. But I like it here with the Blues.
All right. I'm going to take a shot. This is, they got pride. They haven't been playing good. They don't want to get swept. So I'm going to split up my unit size between Washington and Calgary. So, Sean, if you want to intro Vinny again, this is good, though, because,
Two-way action.
We've been agreeing probably too much as of late.
Yep.
Where to start the season, we were very head-to-head on a lot of them. So this will help us get us back on track.
All right. Going to the final of the night in Anaheim, the Flyers, the first of a back-to-back for the Philly team. Ducks, -150 on their money line, +130 for the Flyers. 6.5 is the total with a 115 to the under.
Finally, I'm right there with the market. Ducks -155 at home, so slightly higher, but not much. I am a little bit lower on the total at 6 over -120, so a little bit of a lean, getting that extra, that hook there. Anything you want to throw out before? I know the Flyers, they have liked playing on the road. They've won 4 straight road games coming into this one. What about the matchup or anything else?
So second of 2 meetings between these two. Flyers won the first. That was back in Philly, 5-2, but that was January 6th. First of a back-to-back here for the Flyers. They are 5-4-1, 5-5 on the money line in the first of a back-to-back, but they are 8-2 to the over. Both of those unders have been since coming back from the Olympic break. So going into the Olympic break, they were 8-0 to the over in the first of a back-to-back. Have tempered a little bit coming back off the Olympic break, but the potential for offense in this one is real. And we've got a Trevor Zegras return to Anaheim. So the teams don't like each other. They didn't like each other in that matchup in Philly. You like the fight in this one as well. Another one there. But the Flyers in LA against the Kings tomorrow. They are 4-5-1 on the second of a back-to-back, 4-6 on that money line, and 3-7 to the unders. 3 over 7 unders in the second of a back-to-back. That would be a look tomorrow against the Kings when that opens up. But off the Olympic break, Ducks 7-4-0, 7-4, and the Flyers 6-3-1, 6-4 on the money line. So both teams getting ready for postseason play, trying to stay A-OK to be in that postseason contention. So this one will be another great matchup. Definitely watch the Stars Avalanche game, but this one will be another fun one to watch, and may as well. If you can find that fight, be a good one too.
Very much under the radar. I feel like I was on the Flyers in Philadelphia in that one, and this might be a good go with the home team here in the Ducks. They'll be up for this. So it's a lean. If I had to play it, I think I'd go with Anaheim one way or another. But again, you were liking the over. You're saying goals. I'm going to stay off of the under. My number says slightly lower than a 6.5, but I definitely think that's a good stay away as well. I mean, even just looking at the streaks, looking down the board, way more over streaks. Well, besides the Devils and the Rangers, of course, coming in with the unders there. I will just say Joey B, because he mentioned the goaltending for the Avs. I think they'll be fine. And Wedgwood has been the guy this year. It might just be a little bit beat up, but I think Mackenzie Blackwood has just been struggling a little. It's that mental game of that having 2 number 1 goalies, but I think they're going to be fine. All right, let's go to some basketball here, Ryan, and we'd love to hear from everybody in the chat if they do have opinions on these games coming up. I felt like I had a lot stronger plays yesterday, loving those first halves for the first 3 NIT games, and I guess nothing really in the play-in games. But again, I don't have a lot in these play-in games. I'm rooting for Miami, Ohio. I hope that they can keep it close, maybe win this game outright against SMU. But let's go ahead and start there with the play-in games.
Okay. Well, yeah, we'll start with that SMU Miami game. So SMU is a 7.5 point favorite. Total 161.5.
I think those numbers are right. But Miami, Ohio is very efficient. They're a very accurate shooting team. Their numbers look terrible for offensive rebounding, but I think that's because they didn't need a whole bunch of double chances in the MAC conference. SMU is very efficient as well, and they actually finished in conference play 3rd best offense efficiency in the ACC, best 3-point shooting team. So I think we're going to end up getting points here. So I'm leaning to more of an overplay, but if it's anything like yesterday's 2 games, right, in a back and forth, that first game flew over, and that was definitely a lean to the under, but no strong conviction. What are we looking? Well, actually, let me pull it up because you got your numbers too. So first half numbers are 4, Miami, Ohio catching 4, and the total 75. So that's a pretty high first half total, but I think we're going to get points.
What do you think about that first to 15? Miami, Ohio getting plus 135, SMU laying a minus 155. Miami did not have to travel much.
That's true. They should have the crowd behind them.
I mean, I get that they've taken the action to get to that minus 155, but that's a pretty tempting plus 135 on a get it's not in Miami, Ohio, but it should be a pretty nice home environment for that team.
Honestly, I love it. I mean, this is March. These are the bets that we're looking for. We're looking for the underdog that's going to come out hot. And Miami, Ohio, coming off of their first and only loss of the season, where, they had a lot of pressure going into that conference tournament. But finally, kind of also just like a relief, they finished the regular season undefeated. They're going to be ready in this one. So I like it. Plus 135, I think that's a pretty good price.
All right, going to the first tip-off today in Dayton, going back to Lehigh versus Prairie View A&M, the battle of the 16 teams battling for that 16 seed. Lehigh, 3-point favorite, 142 is the total.
This one I would be more looking for an underplay here. 142, so it has been bet down. The market is going in that direction. Lehigh, of course, Patriot champion. Both of these teams have a nice little win streak going. Lehigh won 6 straight, and Prairie View 7 in a row. When I was really diving into the numbers, I lean to the dog here. I think it's a bad matchup for Lehigh, where Prairie View plays at a very quick up-tempo pace. They get to the line a lot. They're a very good free throw shooting team. So when you have a game that the spread is this small, I think that you want to go with the team that's better at the free throw line. And Lehigh, not a very good offensive rebounding team, but them, just like Miami, Ohio, don't really rely on those second chances. They're pretty efficient too. So if you made me play it, I'd take the 3 here with Prairie View. Do we have any opinions in the chat, or is everyone staying away? Oh, looks like J-Main likes the under.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's team total at Prairie View or a full game, but we'll find out here shortly, I'm sure.
Yeah.
What are you rooting for Miami, Ohio? That's another one of your teams.
Yeah. So, yeah, I made a pretty solid argument. Well, not necessarily a solid argument, but I would have been very upset if Miami, Ohio was not in the field. But going against an ACC team, I did see something yesterday that ACC teams were undefeated in play-in games. I believe they were 6-0 or 7-0, and then State took the first loss yesterday. SMU would be an ACC team here. Was rooting for the ACC yesterday. Would like to think the same. I don't think Miami, Ohio would have a very good shot in the next one. So ultimately, I'll really just be going with that 1st to 15 on the Miami, Ohio. I think that's what I'm going to root for first.
Me too. You said plus 135?
135.
All right, let's do it. It will not be the first or only. It won't be the first. It will not be the only underdog we're taking with a good plus price here throughout this weekend. All right, to the NIT.
To the NIT. Going to Wake Forest first, as Wake Forest hosts Navy. Wake is a 10-point home favorite. 148.5 is the total.
It's a lean to Navy here for me. It's really just the motivational factor, but I do think, Chris talks about it all the time when it comes to football, right? These service academies are the teams that you can trust showing up every time. So Navy was the best in the Patriot League, so should be in the big dance, but I think they'll take this one just as serious. I was thinking more first half, though. Looking at those numbers, you are getting 6 here at the South Point. Total is 70. I also like the over, though, because Navy is very good offensively, and I think they're gonna get theirs points wise. So if I don't want to go against the spread, catching the 6, might take a little bit of that over 70 between these two.
Okay. Going to Illinois State, where Kent State is on the road catching 5 here at the South Point. 153.5 is the total.
One thing that did stick out to me is how good Kent State was in the NIT tournament last year, where they did upset the St. Bonaventure, and then they did upset Stanford. So they do take this very serious, and same head coach with Rob Senderoff. So I think I'll have his guys ready to go. I don't have a big difference. And then using my dad's power ratings here, he has Illinois State 6.5 and the total 150.5. So a little bit of a lean to the under there between those two. But yeah, I just, looking at how they did previously in this tournament, it would be another dog I'd be looking to here.
Okay. Going to Utah Valley. UVU is a 1-point home favorite against George Washington. 153.5 is the total.
Now, this one's interesting. How do we think Utah Valley responds? Because really, they should be in the tournament, right? And then got upset by Cal Baptist. What do you think, Ryan?
This is going to be a great home environment. Wolverine fans really show up. So this one should be the home crowd should make an impact here. I haven't paid much attention to George Washington this year, so that's really kind of just giving you what I know on UVU. So I would tend to think that they'll be able to cover the one, win it outright.
Should be up tempo too. Both of them do play fast, especially George Washington. They are the 83rd quickest tempo and highest possessions per game. So we're going with an over 153.5. It's actually going the other way, and I'm okay with that because there's a lot of blue here on this spreadsheet. And to your point, getting some home court in this one, Utah Valley should be closer to a 3-point favorite. So favorite and over in this matchup.
All right, going to the only road favorite here in the NIT. This would be Dayton on the road at Bradley. I believe Dayton had really just had to sacrifice their home game because obviously the first four is going on in Dayton. So Bradley catching 2.5 in their home building. 141.5 is the total.
That's a good point. And that actually makes me like Dayton even more here now that they are having to travel. Might just take them on the money line there, minus 145 to get this win. I was a little concerned because they don't have a lot of rest time where they were just playing in the championship game against VCU. Kind of thought they had a shot to go to the NCAA tournament. So that had me worried motivation-wise. But now, pack your bags, travel, reset, and go play hard in the NIT. Kenny White's Power Ratings has Dayton as a 4-point favorite on the road. Total right there, though.
Okay. I do have some bloodline that has graduated from Bradley and that teaches at Bradley. So I will be rooting for the Braves, but that does you guys no good. So we'll go to the next one. New Mexico hosting Sam Houston State, 13-point home favorite. 163 is the total.
Another one with a little bit of a higher total here for us, 167. But I was on Cofield and Company yesterday. We did have a beat writer for the Mountain West, specifically in Albuquerque. And I asked him about the motivation for New Mexico. And he said that they have been in this spot, I think it was 2 years ago, and no-showed the first game. So he does think this team and this coach, they're going to be ready to play in this one. So spread is right there. Are we up to 13, you said?
Yes, we're up to 13.
Yeah, so from 12 to 13, that is the way the market's going. No difference. 12 for us as well, but a little bit to the over. Let me check. I want to see Sam Houston's pace of play. Yeah, 42nd in the country, quickest. It's a lot of blue here for this one as well. So the other thing with these NIT games might be a little bit less defense, more free range, kind of playing their offense there. So that's another lean to the over. And there's one more coming, and Attila said he was looking at an over 2 for the next one.
All right. That was the first of 3 Mountain West schools getting to host a game. This one is Murray State on the road at UNR. UNR, a 7.5-point home favorite. 159.5 is the total.
So my number was not this high. I actually was right here with the market at 8, but my dad has Nevada 13 at home here against Murray State. His total is also 175. So he put on their favorite and over in this matchup. I worry a little bit about Nevada's motivation, even though they were fighting to try and make a run in the Mountain West Conference tournament, so weren't really penciled in to getting an at-large. So, yeah, if you want to follow the numbers there, Nevada, talent, more athletic, might be the way to go, but I'm going to pass on that one altogether.
All right, going to Colorado State, where St. Joseph's is on the road. 5.5-point home favorite for the Rams. 143.5 is the total.
I just can't get over how well Colorado State played, and they are building something there. So I do like that side, and I've got it right there at the number, so not a big difference. 5.5. My dad's is even 4.5. Minus 250. That feels like a pretty expensive price to play with a team where you don't really know their motivation. Higher total, though, 147 does not match with pace of play, though, because Colorado definitely wants to slow it down. 360th in pace. So I'm going to stay away from that one for sure, unless St. Joseph's tries to go in there and really dictate the pace. But neither of them really high scoring. Both of them, well, I guess Colorado adjusted points for 75 per game, but St. Joe's just 71.5, but giving up 70. So right there, 143. I mean, that's what the book is telling you as well.
Okay. Going to Cal, hosting Illinois, Chicago. Cal is a 5-point home favorite. 151 is the total.
Right there, total, same exact, 151. Cal slightly bigger favorite here. And look at, well, mine is not. I'm right there on the number, actually at 4.5. My dad's is at 8, though, with Cal at home. Wonder how, yeah, he gave them 5 for home court. I don't know about that. It kind of scares me with what we saw yesterday, right? With liking all these home teams and giving them that full home court advantage that we normally would. And I did not. That is why my number's right there. So, yeah, his numbers say take Cal. I didn't really dive into this one to check their metrics or anything.
Okay. Well, we do have a couple tip-offs of the big dance starting tomorrow before we get on air. So we will go to the 9:15 a.m. Pacific tip-off between TCU and Ohio State, the 8-9 there in the East region. Ohio State, a 2.5-point favorite. 146 is the total.
Let me see if I have my total up as well. I will just say, though, I don't think this one has really moved from our opener number, right? And I agree with that number. I do think Ohio State should be a 2-point favorite. They played really well at the end of the stretch there. But TCU, and I was looking, I believe they are a team that I was kind of betting against in the Big 12 towards the end, and they won 5 straight conference games and won against Oklahoma State in the tournament. So that kind of made me a little bit nervous that I was too low on the Horned Frogs here. So I'm going to stay off of it. I don't have a strong enough conviction, but I do like the way Ohio State was playing at the end there. So they won 3 straight, including that big upset win over Purdue that I think really helped get them out of the bubble into the dance. But, oh yeah, I was finding totals, right? Here we go. Total right there, 147.5 for me.
Okay. Those teams are traveling down to Greenville, South Carolina. These next ones will be going to Oklahoma City, Oklahoma. I believe they're all already there. But 9:40 a.m. tip-off Pacific, Troy and Nebraska. Nebraska, a 13-point favorite. 138 is the total.
I think you have to take a little bit of the dog here. Even though that number is correct, that's right where my number is too, power rating wise. This is a Troy first half bet, Ryan, because you mentioned it on our Selection Sunday show. Both of these teams are looking for their first ever tournament win. That includes Nebraska. So might come out a little tight. A lot of pressure on them to get this win. I do think they will. I do have them advancing in my bracket, but it's a lot of points going up against a team that's playing free. So I think first half is the way to go here.
Okay.
How many points are we getting? 7. Some places have a little more, but that book is a little off normally. Might be able to get a 7.5 out there, though. Yeah, I mean, Hard Rock is usually just a point or 2 off on a lot of games. But 7.5, Troy. I'm putting it on here. First half. Here we go.
All right. We'll go one more for you guys as it's tipping off at 10:30 tomorrow morning. So we will be in show. Just want to make sure we get you guys the numbers for it and what we would be playing in case we don't get, or in case the number moves or you don't have enough time tomorrow morning because you're watching some of the other games. So South Florida against Louisville. This is in Buffalo, New York. Louisville, a 4.5 point favorite. 164.5 is that total.
Okay, Ryan, you told me before the show, because it was in question whether one of Louisville's best starters was going to be going in Mikael Brown, right?
Yep.
And it is official that he will not play this first weekend?
Correct. He will be out for the entire first weekend. So they have to advance through 64, through 32, and then we might be seeing him next week. But yeah, Mikael Brown Jr. is out for this opening weekend for Louisville.
The only thing that really made me nervous about this game was Chris talking about liking this Louisville team, and I do agree with that. But I do really like this South Florida team, and they have been the best in the American all year. They're 61st on KenPom offense efficiency and 40th defense efficiency. They also play at a very fast tempo. I like the points here, and I think that there's a shot that they could upset Louisville, especially if they're missing a guy. Now, it's not the first game out bump because he did miss the last 4 of the regular season too. So, yeah, give me the Bulls here. I'm going to take the points with South Florida.
This one did open 7 for Louisville. Did go to 5.5 on the opening day, the 15th.
That's right.
Was a 5 yesterday and moved to 4.5 this morning off of the announcement that Mikael Brown would not be playing. Total open 164.5. Got as high as 165.5, and we are now back down to that 164.5.
That might be a first half under, because I don't have my dad's total, but looking at mine is 156, 164. Yeah, that is pretty close, but might just be a slower kind of feeling out process.
Another thing to possibly point out, and you saw it on social media yesterday, in Dayton, the basketball is being a little overinflated. So not only are these different arenas that these guys are shooting into and different balls that they normally use throughout the year, as they all use different brands, but it will be the Wilson balls. It does seem that they aren't regulated on how much they inflate the balls to start the tournament. So for these early morning games, the first games of the days in these arenas, be a little wary on that total, as the ball might have a little more spring on it off the rim, and the rims are a little more tight.
Okay, very good. Let's give out our final 4. And thank you. I see JR adding in some trends. I love it. New Mexico over 22-10, and then Sam Houston State ATS 20-10. So good stuff there. And then Bob too saying he's taking Nevada, which we know he is up there in Reno. And hey, Kenny White is on Nevada as well. So good luck to you and everybody that is playing that. All right, Ryan, to our final 4. I still haven't fully committed to the West. I'm probably going to end up on Arizona. Something's just telling me that I should stop trying to fade them. Would you like to, you want me to just go through mine and then you can follow up? Okay. So in the West, which I really do like this region. I like Purdue. I like Arkansas. I like Arizona. Picking from those 3 to make it out of this one is, I do have Arkansas. And I liked them going into the SEC tournament. They got it done. They know how to win 4 in a row here against tough opponents. If Purdue can take down Gonzaga, and then that's the one thing that concerns me. If Arkansas has to beat Arizona and then they have to turn around and beat Purdue as well, I think that's a very tough task. So we'll see. That's the one I'm least confident about. That is the top right corner. Going to the bottom right, I'm going with Michigan. I think it has been a sports by the book stamp of approval throughout the year. We've all loved this Michigan team. And I think they kind of let their foot off the gas a little bit down the stretch. And I think they're going to turn it back on here. So Michigan rolls through the Midwest facing Iowa State. So do have chalk prevailing there for the Elite Eight. On the other side, South, this is tough. I've been talking about Florida and the power rating, but I am going to fade them. I'm going to take the tallest team in the country, Illinois, to get it done. And that means they have to upset Houston and then potentially Florida unless Vandy beats them again. So Illinois in the South for me. And then in the top right corner in the East, Duke, as long as they can get their big man back, because we know that right now they are down 2 with Foster and I don't know how to say his name. I like Duke coming out of the East. That's the toughest region. So it's going to be hard, and there's a lot of good options there. I would probably pick St. John's. I just don't love that they got the 5 seed. So I'm going to go Duke, Illinois, Arkansas, and Michigan here.
All right, I'll start in that same region. I also like the Duke Blue Devils to advance out of the East. I hate the fact that St. John's has to travel across the country for this round of 64 and round of 32 in San Diego. But I do think that Duke will be able to handle them in Washington, D.C. For the bottom of that region, I liked the chalk. I liked State and UConn. State beating UConn in that matchup in D.C. But Duke and State in my Elite Eight there. But Duke getting through. South, I fought myself on this for a while. I really don't like that Houston is the 2 and they would get a chance to, I mean, they're not playing in their home arena, but basically a chance to play in their hometown in their regional finals. But I did pick Illinois to also get them to knock out the Cougars there. And I also debated pretty heavily on Florida and Vandy. I don't know what happened to Florida in the SEC tournament. Vandy really dominated that game. I don't think that'll happen the same in this instance. So I did have Florida versus Illinois in the Elite Eight there, and I went with Illinois to advance and win that South region. In the Midwest, going the exact opposite of what you went. So Midwest first. I'll keep this one short and sweet. Yeah, I like Michigan to advance there too. I think Iowa State is really vulnerable and loses early. Don't exactly know when that would be, but don't
Santa Clara? Just joking. It would be Tennessee.
It would probably be in the
Santa
Sweet
Clara
16
would
to Virginia or Tennessee there. But do think that Michigan advances through the Midwest in that region. And then in the West, I completely understand how dominant Arizona's been, and I have my Elite Eight matchup in that one being the 1 versus the 2, Arizona versus Purdue. But Purdue pulling off that one as they won the Big Ten. As the 7 seed, they were the preseason number 1. I think they get through to the Final Four, winning that West region. So my Final Four would be Duke, Illinois, Michigan, and Purdue. So 1-3, 1-2.
How do we have? You just reminded me that Purdue just won the Big Ten, so we have all the champions up there. Because you got Arkansas, you got Gonzaga, you got Purdue, and Arizona.
I did notice this. So, that West region had Arizona, Purdue, Gonzaga, Utah State, High Point, Hawaii, Kennesaw State, Queens, and Long Island. That was the region of conference champions.
Jeez. Yeah.
So
I mean, I think Michigan. I can't remember. You did send a tweet from somebody who has the easiest path, technically, comparing Ken Palm ratings, right?
Akuda stat, yeah. Let me see if I can get it real quick. And yeah, JR did just point out, that is 3 Big Ten teams in my Final Four.
We've been on the Big Ten, JR. We're here for it. 2-1 right now at the South Point. If you want to take the Big Ten to be your champion, that is why I changed Purdue. I originally had Purdue, and I said I can't have 3 Big Ten. I need an SEC or a Big 12. So I think I'm shortcutting the Big 12 a little bit. It's probably going to be Houston over Illinois, to be honest.
So Jay Kuda did for seeds 1 through 6, the difficulty of their path to the Sweet 16, Elite 8, Final Four, assuming no upsets on the table. He did averages, and then he also did geometric mean there. Anyway, but for 1 seeds, the most difficult path via KenPom average would be Michigan getting through Sweet 16, Elite 8, Final Four. They have the hardest path of any of the 1 seeds. The easiest 1 seed all the way through Florida getting through Sweet 16, Elite 8, Final Four. 2 seeds. UConn has the easiest path to get to the Sweet 16. And then Iowa State has the easiest to get to the Elite 8 and Final Four, although I think they are a little more vulnerable than that. Houston has the most difficult run of any of the 2 seeds to get through Sweet 16, Elite 8, Final Four. 3 seeds. Michigan State has the most difficult run to get through all the way through Sweet 16, Elite 8, Final Four. And Gonzaga has the easiest going through all the way through Sweet 16, Elite 8, Final Four. 4 seeds. Nebraska, easiest all the way through. Alabama, most difficult all the way through. 5 seeds. There is a tie between Vandy and Texas Tech as the most difficult in the Sweet 16s and the Final Four. Vanderbilt has a little bit of easier run in the Elite 8, but Texas Tech, most difficult all the way through. Wisconsin, easiest all the way through. And then 6 seeds. Louisville, easiest all the way through Sweet 16, Elite 8, Final Four. And BYU, most difficult all the way through. So if you want to check that out, and that was a little more difficult, or you want to see what the actual numbers are, it is at Jay Kuda. He does post a lot of random stuff. Like this morning, he posted the bracket with all teams' names backwards, as if that was anything for anybody. But he does. Jay Kuda is a really fun follow. So at JayCuda. If you haven't checked his Twitter account yet already, but yeah, that one is from March 16th. It's a red and green color coded chart with the top 6 seeds. If you want to go look at that.
Are we giving our winner? Did you already? Or we just did the Final Four?
We did the Final Four. I did not give my winner. Did you want to give your winner?
Sure. I've got Michigan beating Duke in the championship. Sticking with the Big Ten here and Michigan, and you just saying they have the easiest path there. Who do you have in the championship, and who's your winner?
I have Purdue beating Michigan in the Final Four, getting the best of them again from the Big Ten title game to now the Final Four. On that side, I do have the Duke Blue Devils defeating the Illinois Illini. And then Duke wins the national championship against Purdue. So, Christopher, there you go.
Oh, my gosh. It's Jay Main who works at Penn, right?
Yes.
Because Jay Kuda also had a bracket where he went oldest school wins. So he's got University of Penn winning it all, according to that bracket. So, yeah, give him a follow. All right, Ryan, I can't believe you just admitted that.
Yeah.
It takes a lot, but they do look pretty dominant. They fell short last year in a year that they were the number 1 overall, right?
Yep.
And we're, just as dominant. And I do actually, I will admit, I do think Cameron Boozer is the player in this tournament that can lead his team. So
there's also another fun stat or account to follow during this time. It is NCAA buzzer beaters and game winners is their account name, and then their handle is at NCAA buzzer BTERS. They will be posting videos and everything of buzzer beaters and that kind of stuff. But they've also done some pretty fun brackets based on their proximity to things, proximity to Wendy's, furthest starting 5. So that team's starting 5 being the farthest from the university, also closest to the university. So Siena has the most local team. They won the national championship, that 16 seed there. And then they also have closest to a Waffle House, Arby's, a different one, scariest mascot to a baby. Just the all around fun that this tournament is, brings some pretty good things out of it. So Hope everybody enjoys the games. Hope we can get you guys some winners. But you'll want to keep tuning in over these next couple of days.
And if you do come to the South Point, make sure you say hello to us because we will be there at least tomorrow and Friday. So hope to see some people there. And just remember, there's seating everywhere. If you want to go to the sports book, the ballroom, that one's tough, right? But exhibit hall, that is where the most seats and screens are. And there is kiosks up there. So betting windows. So you can go game to game if you want or get your bets in early. But also food, drinks, everything you need up at the exhibit hall. And it will be crowded and fun. And we look forward to it tomorrow. I can't believe it's already here. Poll question, trivia, and then let's give our whiteboard plays, and we'll get everybody out of here.
All right, in that order, poll question, trivia, and then whiteboard plays. Today's poll was one of number ones. Which number one seed will win the men's double NCAA tournament? We gave you the 4-1 seeds: Duke, Florida, Arizona, and Michigan. So our viewers going with 37% of the vote, with the Wildcats being able to get it done, the first team on the West Coast to win a national title in the last 25 years. And Michigan was the close second, 32% of the vote. I am rooting for Michigan, even though Elliot Cadeau is another trader that transferred out of North Carolina, but rooting for him because, again, former Tar Heel. All right, now going to today's Ticker Trivia, presented by City Light Shine, available at Lee's Discount Liquor, Total Wine, and here at the South Point Hotel and Casino. It was an NCAA tournament question for you today. In the history of the men's NCAA tournament, how many times has the Final Four excluded a number one seed? So no number one seeds making it to the Final Four. And your answer would be, in the history of the men's NCAA tournament, there have been 4 such instances to date in which a number one seed has not made it to the Final Four. That would be in 1980, 2006, 2011, and 2023. Of note, the women's tournament has never been without at least one number one seed in the Final Four since that tournament began back in 1982. JR had a guess of 3 instances, but it would be 4. 1980, 2006, 2011, 2023. So Ticker Trivia, presented by City Light Shine, your answer would be 4 times in NCAA tournament men's history has a number one seed not made it to the Final Four.
Yeah, I'm not surprised about the women's at all because that is a very chalky tournament. We'll see what happens this year. A lot of people hoping for a repeat of last year with the 4 number ones, but I do not see that happening. I definitely think 2 of the 4, maybe 3 even, because it is pretty top heavy, but I don't know what Sean's talking about. Why does he have the Illini losing first game outright?
Sean's got a lot of interesting takes for this tournament.
A lot of hot takes, and nobody had whiskey making it very far, so I'm sure that is. I debated Wisconsin up there in the West as well. I really did. They might, Sean. Here we go. All right. Ryan, you want to start us off with your hockey?
Sure, but that'll be a 12-13 meeting in that West region. All right,
and High Point can shoot as well. They're like the Wisconsin junior, right?
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah,
right.
But that's another thing to kind of keep in mind with those totals and those 3-point shooting teams. If the ball is a little too inflated, you're not getting the bounce that you normally get, and more shots will go out than in.
Yeah.
All right. 4 plays in hockey. 1 first to 15. The 4 plays in hockey would start with the Pittsburgh Penguins getting things done in Carolina against the Hurricanes, plus 120 in that money line. A minus 120 on the New Jersey Devils money line in Madison Square Garden against the Rangers. The Senators laying the puck and a half, plus 190 on the road in Washington against the Capitals. And the Blues, minus 120 on the road in Calgary. So 4 road Warriors getting it done here in the NHL for me. And then Miami, Ohio, first team to get to 15 points in that first 4 meeting, getting a plus 135 price there against SMU.
Very good. All right. Well, at least we've got both sides today.
One of us will win.
So I'm going with that over in the Stars and the Avs game, over 6 minus 120. And then I'm splitting up my unit here, half a unit on Washington at home, getting the plus 110, half a unit on the Flames, even money there. Going up against Ryan in those two, though. So pick which one you like and follow your best instincts there. Also on 1st to 15, plus 135, Miami O. Hopefully they can keep it going. Hopefully they can get the upset here against the Mustangs. I'm going with Navy and Wake first half. We're going over 70. So hopefully those shots are going in. Dayton on the road, minus 2.5. I do think that they're the better team over Bradley. And I like the fact that they are traveling. Tomorrow, Troy, plus 7, first half. And then South Florida, plus 4.5. So 2 underdogs. And we'll have numbers and analysis on all of the games tomorrow, starting at 10 a.m., as we always are. But for those games that are going to tip a little early, just wanted to put those on the whiteboard. All right. That's it. Today, we had race day, Las Vegas, with Ralph Sirocco. We do still have some horse races going on as well. And then tomorrow, Ryan, our other favorite race show is back in action.
Yeah, Gone Racing will be live at noon tomorrow over on the @Gone Racing YouTube page, talking about the Goodyear 400 down at Darlington Raceway. So they did have a good week last week. Going to be doing more of the same, so you'll want to tune into that one tomorrow, as well as Race Day Las Vegas, 7 to 8 a.m. over on the @South Point Studio YouTube page for all the horse racers, horse bettors there. But the thing to mention that will be kicking off tomorrow, you'll want to get here early if you want a seat in the exhibit hall, would be the most massive Madness party in Vegas, over 20 screens for viewing interest, best drinks and best drink deals in town, best food deals in town, chance to earn a free bucket of beer by making some free throws, and then some giveaways by the sponsors as well. So you'll want to get here to the South Point, as we'll be having the most massive Madness party over the next 3 days, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, for the viewing of March Madness.
Cannot wait, and we will have other 1st to 15 bets going tomorrow as well. So looking forward to it. Hoping this tournament's not as chalky as last year. We want some Cinderella stories, some underdogs covering and winning out right here for us this weekend. Good luck, everybody, for your bets tonight in hockey and on the hardwood, and if you are betting some NBA as well. Thank you for jumping in the chat. We love hearing from all of you guys and keeping that conversation going. Thanks for participating in the poll questions and all of our trivia. If you are not subscribed to the channel, please just double check and make sure that you are a subscriber. We need another goal because while we were chasing that 2K, they were moving up daily. So we gotta shoot. We got to set it a little higher again. Thank you to the crew, Ann, Jerry, Sean, Vince, and Andrew. As always, do a wonderful job. Ryan, great job to you. Let's get back in the green here.
Yep.
Hockey, go back. Be normal. Stop being weird here. But anything else for you before we say goodbye to everyone?
No, just good luck. Let's find some winning ways.
All right. This has been Sports by the Book. We appreciate you guys all supporting us. We'll be back tomorrow at 10 a.m. We'll see you then. Good luck.